Joining us now for reaction here in Washington is Sebastian Gorka, and former assistant to President Trump, a Fox News contributor. And here with me is Philippe Reines, who's a former advisor to Hillary Clinton. If your phone goes off during my angle,
you said
I'm going to get your name wrong.
Like Siri.
Look at this is what
and you still got it wrong.
This is what Philippe did for me because I have a mental.
My mother is watching. At least get my name right.
So the camera people say just call him Phil Reines. It's just easier, you know. Philippe Reines, okay, just so people know, Philippe Reines. See the Siri that went off during the middle of the angle. Okay, so you're laughing because the experts in the Obama administration got it right for all.
Well, I'm laughing because I keep looking to see if there are 5 more people here. It seems that I have to defend the liberal left coconut juice crowd, the establishment Republicans I have to defend because he's not going to do it.
Why don't you just start by making your point about how the experts have gotten it right on China, Libya, Iraq?
I guess what I hear, it must be so tough being a conservative that never gets anything wrong. Because whenever I hear these things, it's a litany of, I told you so, I told you so. But what's interesting to me is that Dr. Gorka is sitting here and not in the White House right now because he was forced out by the establishment and the wrong people who are working for Donald Trump, who he chose over you. So I don't understand. What is it that I'm here to defend as opposed to you should just play both sides? You do.
No, there is an establishment, and this president is the antithesis.
Congratulations, by the way, on Gary Cohn. I know that you were not a fan of the globalist crowd.
Yeah, but let's redirect the conversation back to my point because it's actually quite a simple point. For the last 20 years, the Foreign Affairs crowd, the Council on Foreign Relations, they sold us this narrative that as soon as China became a member of the World Trade Organization, they got most favored nation status. We played the sound bites ad nauseum on the show over the last 2 weeks. They were going to become freer. America was going to be stronger as a result. Our national standing, our international standing was going to be improved. This was Bill Clinton, George Bush, Alan Greenspan. The list goes on and on. Now, all these years later, the facts are in. And so my point is, do the experts ever get held accountable to what's happened to freedom inside China, our standing, our steel makers, our aluminum production? And I think it's time that people are actually held accountable. Trump's actually trying to do that, and he gets trashed 24/7 by the media who can't stand to be proven wrong on an issue. That's my point. And I think it's a really interesting analysis that people want to say, well, let's talk about Gary Cohen or Stormy Daniels. Okay. That's ridiculous. America is going to make a comeback because this president actually wants to stand up for the American worker. That's the story to cover. Go ahead.
What seems to me every time we have this conversation is that Donald Trump is not fighting with his enemies. He is fighting with his own party. This has happened time and time again, whether it's tariffs. Not to make a joke about Gary Cohn, but he left because he's on a different side of it. He has been on the different side of gun control with his own party, on his own on immigration. All the things that you listed were clips of Republicans.
Well, Laura,
no, I'm sorry. He being President Trump. He is waging war against his own party.
Well, he won the presidency because he beat Jeb Bush, Marco Rubio, everyone who was the expert in their field. He beat. Now, does that not like ding, ding, ding? Don't like
Laura,
bells go off?
Your guest doesn't want to defend the indefensible. That's okay, because it's impossible. But let's look at what his party, I know, his highlight of your life was badly impersonating the president in the debate prep for Hillary. But you need to get over the fact that he's the president. Your party has said, they predicted Armageddon on the Paris Accords. They predicted apocalypse because of tax reform. They said the world would be set on fire if we recognized Jerusalem as the eternal state, the eternal capital of the Israeli state. What happened? Nothing. None of those things happened. Your party failed America as much as the GOP rhino establishment. If you don't want to defend it, I understand, because it's indefensible. This man was elected by the steel workers of Youngstown, Ohio, that have seen factory after factory closed down. And think about this logic, Laura. Did you hear that in the last week? Well, we can't do these tariffs because there's only 600,000 Americans in the steel industry. So what? Why shouldn't there be 1 million? Why shouldn't there be 6 million Americans in the steel industry? Because guess what? That's what makes a nation powerful.
But also, there are a lot of Democrats who are cheering what President Trump is doing, including the Democrats who ended up voting for Trump. And if I were a Democrat, I'd be like, okay, what does Sherrod Brown know that I don't know? And Sherrod Brown is saying this makes sense. This makes sense because not just his state, but because without a steelmaking capacity, what does that mean for America in 2025 or 2030?
I don't know what America we're talking about. 65% of America disagrees with what the president is doing.
Is that the same
65%? Can I speak?
Hillary would win?
Dr. Gorka, can I let you speak?
Go ahead.
Okay. I've, heard his opinions and read about them. I was hoping to God that when I got this close, I would smell booze. It would make it a little bit more understandable.
Why the personal attacks?
Because
that's a debate.
Why the personal attacks?
Okay, Laura. Let's go there. Shall we go there?
Oh my goodness.
This is a guest, Felipe, Phil, whatever one you call yourself.
Oh my goodness. Let's not get personal.
Tweeted this afternoon.
Okay, let's get personal.
Okay, he tweeted out.
It's okay when he does it, not me.
No, I don't think anyone should.
I would like to understand
why. Donald Trump
but you drew first blood. You drew first blood.
So this is the riposte. You tweeted out today, Donald Trump wants to arm white supremacist teachers. You have Trump derangement syndrome. You're talking about booze on my breath. That's the Democrats. That's why you lost, buddy.
Philippe, why would you? Yeah, I like you. I love Philippe. I've got to say,
because honestly,
I really respect you, and I've got to say, I have a lot of personal affection for him. That actually surprises me.
But that surprises
me about you.
His comments and his views over the last years and have been detestable. You were fired by Donald Trump.
I resigned. You're going to go ad hominem. You're going to go ad hominem the first time
on my 5 minutes on national TV with you.
Yeah. Despicable example of why.
Okay, guys, no, guys, that's not nice. That's not nice. Let's talk. I mean, I think what we have to face as a country is that both parties have failed America. I really believe that. And I think...
But you're not saying both parties have failed America.
Absolutely. I've written like 3 books about it.
The whole intro.
Absolutely. The GOP establishment, like what other Republican is criticizing the Republican Party? Like if you're a Republican criticizing Trump, it's like the New York Times will hail you for weeks and weeks. But if you're a conservative criticizing the GOP establishment, you're dividing your own party. It's like, what?
But if you're
what are you talking about?
If you're a conservative, you're with Donald Trump when he does what you like. But you get very upset when he's all over the board on gun control and immigration.
Oh, no,
I understand
I criticized him.
I know you do. And I know you do. And the reason for that, I think, is because you don't believe he fundamentally is in the right place on guns or on immigration.
Well, I look at results in the end. I'm not a perfect person.
The results
Lord knows I'm not. He's not a perfect person. None of us are. Well, sometimes I tweet things I shouldn't tweet. I'm not going to hold that against you. We're up against a hard break. I could do an hour with you guys, and I wish we could. I wish we could hold them over for another segment, can't we?
Let's do it. I got nowhere to be.
We might. I don't know. This is live TV. We might do anything.
I'm sure we both have we're not
personal
insults.
We're not going to do personal insults.
You started it.
What? You drew first blood.
You do sound like Donald Trump. That's a
Trey Gowdy. It's got a special counsel. We could talk about that as well. That's coming up. We have huge breaking news tonight.